So, every year, millions of people celebrate the New Year festival of Ugadi. But here's a thought. What if our celebrations are, kind of missing the entire point? That's exactly what we're going to dive into, using a really fascinating discourse from Satya Sai Baba.
Look, the whole idea of a new year is something we can all get behind, right? It's this universal moment for a fresh start, a chance to look forward. It's a ritual that really connects us across cultures and time.
But this is where things get really interesting. The discourse we're looking at today asks this really provocative question. Are our celebrations just about going through the motions? Are they just superficial? Or are they meant to be something way, way deeper?
All right, so first up, let's break down what a festival is really for, beyond all the great food and the parties. And right away, you see this huge contrast. On one side, you've got the external stuff we all know and love. The new clothes, the special meals, making sure the house is clean. But the discourse says, look, that's the easy part. The real celebration, the whole point of it, is what happens on the inside.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The true celebration isn't about changing your clothes. It's about changing your character. The real fresh start, the true new year, begins when you decide to make a genuine transformation inside yourself.
Okay, so if the goal is this inner cleanup, what's stopping us? Well, according to this discourse, there's one huge obstacle that gets in everyone's way.
I mean, this is obvious, right? Just look around us. Technologically, materially, we've made these absolutely incredible leaps forward.
But here's the catch, the paradox. Despite all that external progress, the argument here is that on the inside, morally, we've actually gone backwards. And there's one single reason for this.
And that reason? It all comes down to selfishness. It's this idea that pretty much everything we think, say, or do, deep down, is driven by what's in it for us.
And this kind of self-interest, well, it traps us in a really powerful illusion. We start believing that happiness is something we can just go out and get. If I can just fulfill this desire, buy that thing, achieve that goal, then I'll be happy. But of course, the cravings never, ever end.
But then, the discourse drops this bombshell of an idea. It says that true, real, lasting happiness, it isn't about getting what you want. It's about getting to a place where you don't need to want anything at all, a state of desirelessness.
Okay, so to make this idea of pure, selfless action really clear, the discourse shares this, it's an absolutely wild story.
So first we meet this sage, Narada. He's a big deal. He's constantly chanting, always thinking of God, and he's kind of feeling himself. He's pretty sure he's the #1 top-tier devotee out there. So then, Narada gets sent on a mission to find someone who's an even better devotee. He ends up deep in a forest, where he meets this hunter, who's carrying a sword, and get this, a kill list of famous devotees.
And just look who's on this list. Draupadi, Prahlada, Mira, these are the A-listers of devotion. And there, at the very bottom, is Narada's own name. You can imagine, he's just completely floored.
So the question is obvious, right? Why on earth would a supposed devotee want to kill other great devotees? What could the logic possibly be here?
And the hunter's answer is, it's just mind-blowing. He basically says that every single person on his list, in their moment of greatest need, called out to God and, bothered him. They caused him inconvenience. The hunter's only concern was for God's peace and comfort.
And this is a perfect illustration of something the discourse calls Parartha Prema Bhakti. It's this devotion that's so pure, so filled with love, that it's completely 100% free of selfish motives. The hunter wasn't praying for himself. He only cared about the happiness of the one he loved. For Narada, whose devotion was all about his salvation, this was a total game changer.
Wow. Okay, so that's a powerful story, right? But how do we actually apply that kind of thinking to our own lives? The discourse gives some really clear practical wisdom.
Well, the first piece of wisdom is all about time. It's simple but so profound. Think about it. It's the one thing you spend that you can never, ever get back. So don't waste it on things that don't matter or on worrying about the past. And that leads to the next big point. Live in the present. The text says the present is omnipresent. What does that mean? It means everything is right here, right now. The results of your past and the seeds of your future, they're all packed into this very moment. And if you really grasp that, it all boils down to a super simple code for living. First, help ever, hurt never. And the ancient way of saying the same thing. You gain merit by serving others, and you create sin by hurting them. It's that simple.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together now and see what a New Year's celebration could really, truly mean.
There's this famous line from the philosopher Adi Sankara, praying to be freed from the endless cycle of birth and death. The idea is that the ultimate goal is to get off this merry-go-round of repetition and suffering.
And the discourse has this amazing metaphor for it. Your life is like today's newspaper. You read it, you experience it, you learn from it, and then you're done. You don't ask for the exact same newspaper again tomorrow, right? The goal is to live this life so completely, so fully, that you don't need a do-over.
And that really brings us to the final, most important question. Because a real New Year, it has nothing to do with the calendar. It's that moment you decide to actually change, to purify your heart and live for more than just yourself. And that moment, it can be right now. So the only question left is, what will you do today to begin your true New Year?